Right, so let's talk about feeders. Not the thing you give to fish, or use to feed the squirrels, or even the band, which I quite like. No, let's talk about those that take it upon themselves to find somebody that they can then ply with copious amounts of food because they like someone bigger because they have a fetish. Type. For this, we need Jessica Wilson from Westchester, Pennsylvania, and Eric Budenhagen. I mention them because they're the first two names that cropped up with this particular trend in a very recent article. With this, and let's face it, morbidly obese woman called Jessica Wilson recently getting engaged to Eric Budenhagen. But the interesting part is he wants to overfeed her and she has a weight goal. Right. To get to that dream weight, she is challenging herself. It is a mighty quest, greater than any quest done by Sir Cadogan. It is a quest to eat 10,000 calories a day, something which I remember quite clearly only one of 7 sidemen managed to do. There's no confirmed proof that Harry did it the second time. He kept turning his camera off. If it's anything like him and his card packs, he faked it. 10,000 calories is an astonishing amount to eat, and it will obviously yield tremendous results. And, well, let's call them by what they are, gains. Never thought I'd appropriate the term incorrectly, but whatever. 10,000 calories makes me sick just to think about it. And I use MyFitnessPal. I weigh all my food. I know how much I take in a day. It sits at around 1,800, by the way, for those at all interested after the first Amberlynn Reid video where people were alarmed when I said 1,200. I was ill, okay? But 10,000 is much higher, and I get sick if I cross 2,500. Like, I start to feel really off. 10,000 is quite, a worry. The weight goal, by the way, is to go from 32 stone at time of recording to 42 stone. For those who don't understand stone, she wants to weigh 588 pounds, with her current weight being 448 pounds. She wants to become a quarter-ton princess. Plus, this is Amberlynn Reid territory of weight, although a recent weigh-in has me a tad confused. Part of me would like to actually see someone hold the camera, have it at her face and pan it down without any time lapse so we can see the scales properly. Becky, your job. Now, for those who don't know, to be a feeder is to be someone that becomes sexually aroused by feeding their partners and encouraging them to gain weight to a state of immobility. A feedee is someone who is erotically aroused by their own weight gain or forced to eat, or being forced to eat. Nice to know who the sub is. You can tell this woman, by the way, in this particular article has gained weight quite quickly because it has yet to catch up with her chins. There is nowhere near as many of them as there should be for someone of her size. That's distressing. I would point out, by the way, Jessica, once you start gaining obscene amounts of weight and lose the ability to function, let's ignore the cost for a moment, although we'll get onto that soon enough, the amount of pressure applied not only to the muscles and the bones that then have to try and move eventually, it is also the pressure on the vital organs that keep you alive in the first place. Your heart is no exception. One can hope you don't have to climb too much because the strain would be agony. No doubt you've yet to fully understand and appreciate it if the only real workout you're doing is lifting a chicken McNugget to your mouth. Something which I know for a fact you do because the video linked in the article down below is of you eating a chicken nugget for a minute. Well, nuggets. To now start to paint the picture of this beautiful match made in heaven, Jessica and Eric met back in August of 2019, and they initially started by just eating pizza, watching movies, playing video games, and then revealed to him that she wanted to put on a further 10 stone to reach her goal weight. I should point out, the article references 42 stone as 600 pounds, when actually it's closer to 43. which is still an alarmingly high number, let's face it. To help with this, the couple go through regular stuffing days. No, I don't mean they take a sage and onion mix and shove it up Jessica's ass, although it's possible that may well happen. I don't really understand feeders and feedies anyway. Now let's move on to the cost. How do they afford this? Well, it's quite fortunate really, because Eric has a full-time job as a customer service manager. His salary no doubt helps. I can be certain it doesn't cover the entire cost. And just because it amused me, the way Eric proposed to her somewhat surprised me, because I would have thought based on how he did it, it would have ended up in her stomach and he would have had to fish it out of her stool. You see, he hid it in an ice cream sundae. Right. Okay, that's romantic. Their intention is to get married this year and continue this feeding journey together. And that just doesn't scream romance, right? It is worth pointing out that how they actually met came about because of a website that is for people in the feeder community, something which Jessica herself confirmed. She was initially looking for a feeder and someone who loves bigger women, but never expected to find a fiancé. On a normal day, she admits to consuming 5,000 calories. It is on the stuffing days that she does 10k. To maintain your weight, you'd have to be eating about 5,000 calories. There is a channel called Shikara Transformations, and she did a response to one of Amberlynn Reed's videos, and because she actually does the workout properly when it comes to counting calories based on the food you consume, she was able to work out that to maintain Amber's weight, which is actually not too far from this girl's weight, she'd have to consume about 4,000 calories a day, which no doubt is making me feel a little sick just thinking about it. Now, I'm sure many of you are now wondering, how does stuffing day work? Well, I'm so glad none of you asked. How it goes is, Eric takes Jessica to a buffet and will order different foods throughout the day just to watch Jessica's stomach swell. And whilst Jessica is eating, Eric will rub her belly and give her words of encouragement like, "Let's go, champ." Just to give it a little context, Eric is 6'1", weighs 190 pounds, which is 13 stone 5 pounds for those who are at all interested, none of you I'm sure. Jessica is 5'5", 450 pounds, 32 stone 1 pound, and yeah, that's giant bowling ball size. Yeah, I would say impressive, but there's nothing impressive about sitting there doing nothing while bragging about all the food consumed. You have this is, when I see that amount of food or that many pizzas, I usually think, a party for about 12. No, just one. If there's leftovers, it's only because she forgot it, or because it somehow crept over the gunt. Oh dear Lord. Jessica, my advice to you is this. Please stop. While you are free to choose and do and behave any way you want, it does come with consequences, one that will eventually become a burden on the American people. You'll know when it's gone too far when they have to weigh you on elephant scales, because those XXL heavily reinforced scales won't be enough. Eventually your body will start to fail you because of weight goals. The complete opposite to what I think when people say they have a weight goal. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. To finish, there is a new video on Moistski Live and I'm streaming a Prime Minister's Questions response there at 9:30 PM GMT, both linked below. I'll also be streaming on Twitch tonight, linked below. Please consider swinging by. It's normally quite casual and fun. So I hope you'll have a fantastic Wednesday, even with the nightmarish mental image you have in your head now of feeders and feedies. And thank you all for listening.